chance I can get to do the recordings without the bugs driving me crazy again. Weaver, John C., Roseman, California. This is July 16th, 2021. It's on a Friday. Yay! Trying to get me. Yeah, I know. I'm getting. And these things are. And I'm getting. What can I say? Geek on. What can I say? So many things that go through, and I've been doing the personal recordings, not to mention audio and video. But things have been affecting my life a great deal. Something as happy as a Geek Day. And the only thing I kept thinking about was dealing with my own personal demons and my own personal problems. Instead of being an out-and-out geek and going crazy over the stuff, I'd be more focused on grief, depression, memories. Really trying to understand how my family had treated themselves the last years of their life. Instead of looking forward, instead of looking onward, they were just looking at what else is there to do. I mean, seriously, what was there left to do in their life? And I don't want to be that way again. I'm trying to understand more and more what the depression was and how they felt it and why they felt it. And it was scary. It was scary because days like a National Geek Day, when you can wear something silly and geeky or do something about it. For me, I know I've been a geek ever since I was a young kid. I geeked out over the space program. I geeked out over science fiction and comics and cartoons and action figures. I didn't play house. I fell out of tree houses, ran into brick walls, busted and bloodied up my face and my bones. I had heart surgery when I was 4 years old, and I still was somewhat of a scrappy kid, didn't listen to the family, and then give my mother so much medical grief, I don't know how the hell she got through it all. And my brother wondering why he got the brunt of everything else. No, I'm not like one of those characters called Calvin. No. I was just a dumb kid. He was supposed to be a smart, intelligent. Sat by himself and read. Yeah. I did that too. But at school, I didn't obey anybody actually during that time. I mean, I listened to some of the lessons, and I listened to some of the plans, but to be a geek, you had to learn what to be a geek. You had to learn everything about it. If you're going to be geeky about astronomy, you have to be on top of the game. As much as you could when you're a young kid with all these kid books concerning about space travel and stuff. And about the astronomy, the planets, and how they're composed. At the time, there was 9 planets when I was growing up. Now there's 8, but there's hundreds of exoplanets in our solar system. And more of the construction of the system is, the more I kept discovering what the construction of the solar system was and is, the more I'm geeking out over the damn thing still. In my old age of 55, wow, I did not know that. I mean, there may have been scientific theories out there floating around, but how many planets we got in the same solar system? I thought it was just supposed to be, well, it's supposed to have been like 9 of them. Ruled by the sun. So, it's a geek day. You're supposed to get your geek on. 52 years ago, we had the political geek going on. We had to make to the moon. We had to get a man on the moon. We had to put an American flag on the moon, but also say that we did this in the name of humanity. No, we did this in the name of political expediency. We had to risk men's lives just to satisfy our own Russian Red Scare shit. We did it for space exploration, yeah we did, but we did it mostly for politics. We had spent billions and billions of dollars for politics. To be the first. Well, we screwed up on the damn Mercury mission at that point. We weren't the first. But we did in incremental steps of getting people to the moon. While you had other country, there I say it, was getting their race on and projecting themselves as the rulers of space. Of course, we had to get our own first station up there, too. So did the Russians. They kept their station a lot longer than we had. One got burned up, and the other one was up there for a while, too, that we did international joint missions. We made an ad hoc international space station between two countries on a Salyut station. And then we had the International Space Station. Now we get to have a Russian-Chinese station out there, and Russians pull out of ours, but we have other countries moving in. It's all politics. Besides looking into the space exploration and getting man out there in space, we still have to look at the political thing. The politics is in everything these days. It's like worse than MSG ingredient dealing in the old food. A preservative? Jeez. Cancerous preservative. Oh, it'll preserve your ass, but it'll kill your ass. Or welcome to Schrodinger's cat, or Schrodinger's chemicals here. The idealism is the one that gets to us. It's the idealism of thinking about space exploration is the one that we keep dreaming about. We want an American universe. We want to put man out there on the moon. We put man on the moon. We want to put man on Mars. We're going to put a man on Mars. But they're going to be putting a political flag on a damn planet and calling it theirs. We're not doing it for mankind. We're doing it for politics. So when we did have the NASA space program going on of putting a man on the moon, yes, theoretically, you're supposed to be representing everybody. The mission patch that the astronauts had for APOLLO 11, Michael Collins, Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong. These three characters that had taken their jobs seriously had put themselves in mortal danger by landing on the damn moon. Collins was just the observer. He was in the Apollo capsule. Anything happened to the two guys on the planet, actually on the moon, Collins was to report back and haul ass back home. Thank God nothing happened on the moon. That would have been American tragedy right there, and we couldn't deal with the political face on that one. But no, just to put a political face on the moon, we actually did put an American flag, and we blasted the damn thing into hell in a handbasket. If there's any American flag still floating around on the moon, or actually on the moon's surface, I'll be surprised if they're still in one piece. Every time we kept landing down a lunar lander, the top portion of it was the escape pod in their living quarters, and goes blasting out back to the command module, dock up, and then they get the slingshot at home. Keep watching some of these documentaries and these documentary series concerning about how the program was viewed at different angles, including the series I fell in love with on HBO, which is called From the Earth to the Moon. Tom Hanks involved in that project heavily. Did the narration of it. And it was very dramatical. But it was also very storytelling, too. some of the books I read concerning about the space program. Even Tom Wolfer is to write stuff talking about the Mercury mission. But it was still about the political ramifications of the Red Scare. Whether or not we're actually going to be having Russian red on the moon or not. Or the first Russian in space, we had to beat the Russians. Well, the Russians beat us. First they put Sputnik, and then they put a man on the moon, man in space, Yuri Gagarin. And these names I have to keep in my head, because they are just as important as Alan Shepard being the first American in space, just doing their 50 minutes of orbital flight. And yet, in our day and age right now of 2021, we celebrate Branson going up in space and back down again for just a 15-second orbital arc, not a 15-minute orbital arc. And Branson calls himself an astronaut. He's just a freaking space tourist at this point over here. I consider the astronauts actually risk their lives in the damn shit as astronauts. Because when you're sitting on top of a damn chemical rocket ready to blow your ass up, and you don't know whether or not the thing's going to blow up or not, but you still take the ride. That's the challenge of being an astronaut. You're dealing with outer space. You're dealing with the consequences. You're dealing with the unknown. And you push away the political aspects of it. You push away the nationalism. You put into the challenge of being a test pilot in space, of graduating from a test pilot of doing aerial vehicles, and now you're doing spaceships. That's what I would celebrate. Not the political stuff. This right here is political. The color scheme itself is red, white, and blue. But United Federation of Planets. Politics. Politics. I'm saying this because it is politics. When Gene Roddenberry made Star Trek, he made it to the point where we're dealing with space race. We're dealing with an organization out there to explore space and to govern space, basically. A federation of planets, you're talking about a political body here. You're talking about politics here. So this is what we've been dealing with all along. We celebrate a political move of getting men on the moon. And National Geek Day is still celebrating politics. So basically, it's not Geek Day, it's Politics Day. Despite the politics that we've got going on right now, tearing each other apart left and right. It's this particular form of politics I'd rather support and deal with and cope with. Because out there is where we need to be. Out there is where we need to be challenging him. Out there among the heavens, getting our feet on every damn planet we can get our hands on, for either mining or for colonization or for both, for human survival. And keep pushing the edge and keep pushing forward and keep pushing forward. Maybe somewhere down the line we're going to have a galactic empire. Or a federation of planets. Either way, we're pushing for politics. Not for the Russian Red Scare, but for the terrifying notion that if we don't do this, we will be extinct. That's why we have to celebrate it. That's why.